Guys, I'm going to show you quickly how to use and read my spreadsheet. So this is the spreadsheet here in its raw form. Basically what we're going to do is I'm going to copy paste all these stats over here and let this run, and then I will show you what everything means. So let's just copy and paste. Alright, so right now, because we don't have any games to go by, I'm using projected minutes and projected fantasy points. Eventually, once we get into season and we got games under our belt, these will be actual last 5 minutes and actual last 5 fantasy points. But right now, it's just projections. Let me remove this top line here. Delete. Come on. Alright, and then we're going to sort by grade, descending. Alright, so we just go across the top here and I'll show you what each column means. The grade is basically every stat metric that we use in daily fantasy basketball. So we're looking at usage, pace, D versus P I still use. It's not quite as relevant as it used to be because NBA doesn't have positions anymore basically. Minutes last 5, like I mentioned, we're using projected minutes right now, not actual minutes, but eventually this will be actual minutes in their last 5 games. Same thing with average fantasy points last 5. This will eventually be an accurate average. Right now it's just projections. And average for the season, same thing, projections. This projection right here is just a basic projection model that I use. I'm going to actually run some algorithms on it as well, which you'll see at the very end. Over, under, and spread. And then, of course, their salary. Over here is all the algorithms, which I'll hide at the end of the spreadsheet. You won't see all this stuff, but this is just where the algorithms run. And basically, the grade is determined by assigning a number grade to every single metric across the top here. So you get that, all that added together, averaged becomes your grade. Obviously, the higher the grade, the better. The GF2 projection is basically that basic projection model that I showed you earlier, the 32.4. Then it's adjusted by the grade. So if the grade is higher, the projection is going to be a little bit higher. If it's a lower grade, it'll be a lower projection. And that's basically how I do my projections. The ROI, return on investment, is basically if they reach my projection at 34.79 based on their current salary, then your return on investment is at 117%. Obviously really good. As you can see, best is in purple, good is in green, blue is average, yellow is risky, etc., etc. You can see that this purple says 5.5K and under. Those are your values, which actually show up over here, which we'll get to that in just a minute. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and hide it and show you what it looks like on your screen once I get it set up. So don't hide, don't hide, don't hide, and then don't hide. The rest of this stuff you will not see on the final version. This is what you will see here. Obviously, all the stuff that you need: grade, projection, ROI. Cold and hot is basically based on D versus P. Based on their last 5 games. So if they're beating their salary last 5 games on an average, then there'll be a hot column. If they are underperforming over their last 5 games based on their salary, they'll be in the cold column with a little snowflake. Matchup is based on D versus P. If you get a good matchup, you get 1 thumbs up. A better matchup gets 2 thumbs up, and the best matchup gets 3 thumbs up. If they have nothing there, then it's either an average matchup or it could even be a bad matchup. Injury, obviously probable, questionable, pretty easy to remember that. Player name, position, team, opponent, all is easy to figure out. Salaries, anything highlighted in this bright purple means that they're under 5,500. And obviously if they're if they're purple and they're kind of towards the top of the sheet here, they have a good grade. That makes them a good value for the day. So as you can see, Norman Powell is the highest value on my sheet according to the metrics. Across the top here, you got all your positions. Point guard, actually point guard is not showing up right because I forgot to change the format, but let's go to shooting guard. These are all your shooting guards, all your small forwards, power forwards, centers, etc. The hot column is basically players that are just hot over the last 5 games, which are outperforming their salary. So you'll see all the hot players on this tab. The value tab is basically all the players that are graded a 20 or above, so an average play to a best play and above. and their salary is under 5,500. So this shows you all your value plays. Cash game value chart is basically what I use for cash game value. Nothing really other than reference here. So if a player's 3,000, they have to score 13.95 to hit cash game value, which I use basically for the hot and cold. If they're overperforming their cash value, then they'll show up as hot. If they're underperforming their cash value, then they'll show up as cold. How to read is just basically the chart broken down. Video tutorial is where I'll put this video once I'm done. And the Vegas over-unders, we'll go ahead and just show you that real quick, how that works. So we'll go back to the overall. So we'll find, let's go to Lou Williams. His opponent is LA, and LA is at home. So we go back over to our Vegas lines. We'll find home LA, and we will change this to, let's say, 280, just to make it a high number. And then 13. And then we got to do LA Clippers on the road. Where's LA Clippers? Why can't I find them? Oh, right here. And 280. And what I do, 13 down there? I gotta copy the same thing. Yes, 13. All right, so that should change his grade over here. Yep, so as you can see now, he's graded at a 50. Projection went up, his ROI went up, everything went up pretty much because that's that's of the over/under. Obviously, if it's a bad situation where it's a low-scoring game, it could affect his score in the negative. Same thing with spreads. The spread is closer. If it's like a 3 or 4 point game spread, then it'll help his projection, his grade. If it's a large spread like 13 or 14 or 15, it'll actually hurt his grade. So that's how that works as well. I think that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me on Twitter or through Facebook. Wherever you find this spreadsheet at, you can reach out to me and ask me questions. I'll try to post this as often as I can, but unfortunately I do have a full-time job. I can't always post it, so I will try to do the best I can. That's it. Thank you.